I don't know if I've shared this story about how I started to compost during COVID times when the pandemic hit and there was a lockdown. Anyway, I started to compost because the garbage truck wasn't coming, because of lockdown and all of those restrictions. And what happened was one thing led to another, and I started to garden. The type of gardening I did, which I can't talk enough about, is called no-dig gardening, and I loved it. And cut a long story short, what I discovered was first that good seeds are important to grow anything, flowers, fruits, vegetables. Then I realized slowly, the more I worked on it, that it wasn't just enough that you had a good spot and you had good seeds and you had enough water or it was getting enough sunlight. What I doubled down on with regard to gardening, and I feel like it's a big breakthrough which any farmer in Tashigang or Mongar or Bhutan, Paro must have known since the time they started to go in their farm, is I discovered that the most important thing in gardening is the soil. But this is not about gardening. I always use this as a segue to talk about the fact that when Namsel, my younger daughter, graduated in Takse from kindergarten, I had to give a short speech to the other parents and staff members there. And I spoke about the same story, and I used it as a segue to talk about how, just like how soil is important for gardening, for school and for education, what is important is teachers. And I am a strong believer, even in the most recent talk that I gave to Dishincholing Higher Secondary School, I kept saying, I don't know how many times I repeated that happy teachers will change the world. And just like how soil is important for gardening, I feel teachers are important to education. And now finally, to be done with this red herring, what I wanted to talk about today was parenting. Hi, my name is Karma, and today is a Wednesday, and for those of you who haven't been watching this video every Wednesday, then I can't imagine what you're wasting your time on. But jokes aside, every Wednesday I do a post called My Take, and it's my take, exactly what it is. No brainer, no points for guessing. I just share my 2 bits about ideas and concepts. And today, like I just shared in the earlier section of this video, I wanted to talk about parenting. And like how I mentioned that good soil is the most important thing in gardening. I might be wrong. There might be master gardeners here who, if you have any other new tips, then please do share in the comments. I feel that more than emphasis on the students, we, be it the Ministry of Education or the government or anybody who's responsible, needs to pay more attention to how teachers are treated, what kind of workload they're doing, so that happy teachers will change the world, just like Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh had shared. It's not important, it's important that we bring up good children, but I think equally important for us as parents is that we take care of ourselves. And going back to that example, great soil, important for gardening, great teachers, important for good education and the well-being of our students, and parents who take time out, who have date nights, who are taking care of their physical health, who are getting enough sleep, who are having dialogue between spouses, who are making enough time for recreation, keeping themselves hydrated, maybe taking a walk, a run. Even if you can't have enough more spare time, just making 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I am very lucky that my wife gives me, she tries to give me as much free time as I can get, but 2 things that she makes sure that I get is I get my morning prayer session, which is roughly around an hour and 15 minutes, and my second prayer session in the evening, which is another hour and 15 minutes. and that really helps me to recharge, reconnect, be more present, and that helps me to, in my interaction with my daughters, it helps me to be a better person when communicating with my wife. And that's what I wanted to share today. I also wanted to congratulate all the parents here in Thimphu or rest of Bhutan. You guys have been able to educate future citizens of Bhutan for another year, whether your sons and your daughters pass, graduate or not. At least we did our part. We dropped them to school, we nursed them back to health from whatever they contract from school. So be it diarrhea, fever, influenza, God knows whatever that they get. And we have stayed up in the night, we have taken them to the hospitals, we have fed them their 3 meals, we've packed their lunch, we've dropped them to school. So congratulations everyone who has been able to do that. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to share today. That great soil, to summarize, great soil I feel is where we need to double click on with regard to gardening, if you're gardening and if you're trying to figure out why your plant, your flower is not blooming and things are not panning out the way it should in spite of all your best effort. And with regard to education, yeah, the Ministry of Health, principals, the school admin, whoever is responsible, let's make working conditions more comfortable for our teachers. Let's see that they're not overblocked, because at the end of the day, while teachers make scientists, they make engineers, they make doctors, they are also moms and dads or the uncles and aunts. So I hope whoever's watching this is mindful of that. And even students, if there's anyone young catching this, then cut your teacher some slack. And with regards to parents, first of all, congratulations, you did it. Future citizens of Bhutan or anywhere else in the world, you brought them up, you took care of them, you loved them, and now you deserve a vacation as much as they do. So lots of love from the Dendrups, and if you have any comments, then do share here. And you can find all of my videos here on TikTok or on my Instagram gallery or on my Facebook page. So tashidele, and I'll catch you in the next one.